In the sterile, bustling corridors of the city's most prestigious hospital, a young girl named Lily moved like a shadow. Armed with a mop and a bucket, she cleaned tirelessly, her small frame dwarfed by the grand architecture around her. The nurses, in their crisp uniforms, would often whisper and point, their laughter echoing down the halls. "Look at her," one would sneer. "Barely a teenager, and already cleaning floors. What a waste." Lily heard them, every single cutting remark, but she never let the tears fall. She simply clenched her jaw, dipped her mop back into the bucket, and scrubbed harder. For her, this job wasn't a choice. It was a lifeline. Her mother, Clara, was a patient in this very hospital, confined to a bed in the general ward, her breath shallow and her body frail. The medical bills were a mountain, and Lily's meager earnings were just pebbles against an avalanche of debt. Each floor she mopped, each window she wiped, was a desperate prayer for her mother's recovery. The doctors, with their somber faces and clipboards, were like gods in this sterile world, their words holding the power of life and death. Lily would watch them from afar, a mix of awe and fear in her eyes. She often wondered if they even saw her, the invisible girl who kept their pristine world spotless. One afternoon, as Lily was cleaning a deserted hallway near the intensive care unit, a commotion erupted. A team of the hospital's top specialists, led by the renowned Dr. Evans, rushed past her. Their faces were etched with urgency. Lily pressed herself against the wall, making herself as small as possible, her heart pounding in her chest. She overheard snippets of their conversation. Unprecedented case. Last resort. Need a miracle. She knew they were talking about a patient whose life hung by a thread. A familiar pang of anxiety shot through her. She sent a silent prayer, not just for her mother, but for whoever was behind those closed doors. Later that day, the hospital's CEO, a stern-faced man named Mr. Harrison, was doing his rounds. He spotted Lily, polishing the brass plaque outside his office. He wrinkled his nose in distaste. "You?" he called out, his voice sharp. "Can't you see this is a high-traffic area? Do your cleaning when no one is around. We have an image to maintain." The nurses who were with him giggled, enjoying the spectacle. Lily's face flushed with shame. She mumbled an apology and quickly gathered her things, her hands trembling. As she scurried away, she felt their judgmental eyes burning into her back. It was a daily humiliation she had to endure. Days turned into weeks, and her mother's condition showed no improvement. Lily's hope was starting to fray. One evening, after a grueling shift, she went to visit her mother. Clara was asleep, her face pale against the white pillow. Lily sat by her bedside, holding her mother's limp hand, and finally let the tears she'd held back for so long stream down her face. She whispered, "Mom, please don't leave me. I'm trying so hard. I don't know what else to do." Her quiet sobs were the only sound in the dimly lit room, a heartbreaking melody of a daughter's love and fear. The next morning, something was different. There was a buzz in the air, a palpable tension that even Lily could feel. As she started her cleaning routine, she noticed that the same group of elite doctors, including Dr. Evans, were gathered outside a conference room. They looked exhausted but also electrified. They were discussing the same critical patient, but this time the words were different. Incredible recovery, a medical marvel. The new treatment protocol worked. Lily's heart skipped a beat. A miracle had happened. She felt a glimmer of hope, a tiny spark in the overwhelming darkness. Later, Dr. Evans, looking more relaxed than she'd ever seen him, was walking down the hall. He noticed Lily cleaning, and for the first time, he didn't just look through her. He stopped. "You're here every day, aren't you?" he asked, his voice surprisingly gentle. Lily was so stunned she could only nod. "You work very hard," he added with a small smile, before continuing on his way. That small act of recognition was like a balm to her wounded spirit. Someone saw her. Someone actually saw her. The next day, a hospital-wide announcement called for a special assembly. The entire staff, from surgeons to janitors, was asked to gather in the main auditorium. Mr. Harrison, the CEO, stood at the podium, beaming. He was there to announce a groundbreaking achievement. Lily stood at the very back, trying to remain invisible. Mr. Harrison cleared his throat. "As you all know," he began, We recently faced one of the most challenging cases in this hospital's history, a patient on the brink of death. But thanks to a revolutionary new treatment, they have made a full recovery. A round of applause filled the room. Mr. Harrison then introduced the man of the hour, and the anonymous donor who funded this life-saving research. A philanthropist who has requested to remain unknown but has gifted our institution millions, is with us today. He has one special request: to thank the patient's family personally. A wave of murmurs swept through the crowd. Who could this mysterious benefactor be? Then, Dr. Evans stepped up to the microphone. His voice was thick with emotion. This success, he said, is not just a victory for science, but a testament to hope and perseverance. The patient who fought so bravely, who inspired this breakthrough, is a woman who has endured so much. He paused, looking out at the sea of faces, his eyes searching. Lily's heart began to race, a strange premonition taking hold. Dr. Evans held up a chart. He took a deep breath, and his voice rang out, clear and loud, through the silent auditorium. And I would like to read the name of this courageous patient aloud. Her name is Clara. The name hung in the air. For a moment, there was just stunned silence. Then, all eyes started darting around the room. The nurses who had mocked Lily exchanged confused glances. Mr. Harrison looked bewildered, and in the back of the room, Lily stood frozen, the world tilting on its axis. Her mother. They were talking about her mother. Dr. Evans's gaze finally found her. He locked eyes with the small, disheveled girl at the back. A look of profound respect and gratitude washed over his face. And her daughter, he continued, his voice resonating with emotion, who has been working amongst us, cleaning these very floors to pay for her mother's care, is the reason we never gave up. Her devotion was our motivation. He pointed directly at Lily. Please, come forward. A spotlight found her, and a collective gasp went through the crowd. The nurses' faces turned from mockery to shock, their cheeks flushing with shame. Mr. Harrison's jaw dropped. The girl they had dismissed, ridiculed, and looked down upon was the daughter of the woman who had just become a medical legend. Lily walked forward in a daze, her cleaning rags still clutched in her hand. The entire room rose to their feet, and the auditorium erupted in a thunderous applause that was no longer for the doctors or the anonymous donor, but for her. For the quiet, determined girl who cleaned floors and carried a mountain of love in her heart. In that moment, she wasn't the poor cleaning girl anymore. She was a symbol of hope, a testament to the fact that the greatest strength doesn't come from wealth or status, but from the unwavering power of love. The laughter that had once haunted her was replaced by a roar of admiration, a sound that finally, truly, made her feel seen.